In relation to how powerful our testimony is, I would like to share a testimony and something that the Lord has, revealed to me about a situation. And I think it's powerful because there are quite a few people that struggle with this or have dealt with it. And prayerfully, this video will encourage you to really go back and seek God's guidance and what He wants you to do. So, back in 2018, we were newlyweds and we decided that we wanted to start to wanted to make a family. So, it was challenging. It took a year for me to get pregnant, and then we ended up losing that baby at about 5 to 6 weeks. And it was hard because, not understanding why and, how and things of that nature. And I remember, just feeling really upset and going through the process of a miscarriage. For those of you that don't know, there are two options that they give you. Essentially, they give you a pill that you have the option of taking a pill, which is similar to the pill that they give women who decide to have an abortion, or you can get a surgical procedure done. I don't know why, but I thought, taking the pill would be easier, I guess, less stress on my body. I don't know. But it ended up being pretty bad. It was not something that I ever thought that I would experience. And it was just all around a very horrible experience for me. And so, with that being said, on top of, not having a baby, it was very heartbreaking and very just like, what is happening? And so I remember expressing to God my anger and my frustration with Him. But I also, in the same breath, I was like, but I can't go anywhere else. Like, I know what a life without you looks like, and I don't want that. So even though I don't understand why this happened, um, why it's happening to me, how it happened, I know that I cannot stop living for you, and I know that I cannot stop believing in you. Like, I know that even though this is hard right now and I don't understand it, I know that I can't go anywhere else or back into the world, I'm going to say. And so I realized, recently that I had made that child an idol. I wanted a baby so bad. I was on the forums, learned all the different acronyms and things of that nature for trying to conceive and stuff like that. I thought about it a lot. I pretty much obsessed about it. And so I believe that losing our first child was a way for God to say, you have placed this child as God, lowercase g, in your life. And so now I need to remind you of who God really is. And that's me. Him. So of course at the time I wasn't thinking of it that way. We were blessed with our oldest child a year after that. And there is so much that I just did not know back then that I know now. And I pray that this is encouraging to, somebody that is trying. If you are a believer, maybe, go to God and ask Him, even though the Bible says that He will give us the desires of our heart. I believe it also has to be in His timing. And so when we try to rush things, or like in my situation, I don't think we were rushing it. I just put too much emphasis and too much love and too much dedication and too much thought process into having a baby that I took God completely out of the equation. So we have to make sure that God is at the forefront of everything in our lives, that nothing comes before He does, because there are incidences or experiences, I'll say, like mine, where He will remind you. And it wasn't a good experience, it was a horrible experience, but I needed to be reminded. And even though I didn't catch it back then, I catch it now, or I know it now, that I just put way too much emphasis, way too much time and effort into being a mom versus my relationship with the Lord. So if you are trying, be encouraged. Make sure that you aren't putting your child above the Lord. Go back to God, ask Him, if there's something else missing that you're to be doing. Maybe there's something that you haven't repented for, things of that nature. Ask Him, about it first and foremost, and then take the steps necessary to get to where, you want to be able to fulfill the desires of your heart. So let us know in the comments if you want to share, what might be a something that you experienced before and that you didn't really get a revelation of why it happened to you until later on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and we will see you next time.